we talk all about legacies leading into the game. And when we get particularly bored, we wonder whose legacy will be improved the most. Get out of here with that. Anybody who wins a Super Bowl, that's whose legacy is improved the most. Who needs that Super Bowl win more when you already have one compared to somebody who doesn't have any? Get out of here. Can't have enough. As Gordon Gekko once said, greed, for the lack of a better word, is good. And sports is all about greed being good. And Patrick Mahomes, with this Super Bowl win, now enters very rarefied air. We talked about Mount Rushmores for coaches, and you could put anybody on there. We mentioned in our Overreaction Monday segment how Andy Reid now is in a rare club that has only 4 coaches in it. He's one of them. Landry, Belichick, and Shula are the others. 200 wins as a head coach now with multiple Super Bowls. Like, that could be a Mount Rushmore. You mentioned, TJ, what about Chuck Noll? And you, Mike Del Tufo, said, what about Bill Walsh? Certainly, since you refer to yourself as the Bill Walsh of audio.
Exactly.
And so, you know, I saw on our Twitter feed, what about Joe Gibbs? That's the whole idea about an argument about Mount Rushmore. What about Mount Rushmore of quarterbacks? If you want to choose, say 4, there's only 4 players all time with multiple MVP awards and multiple Super Bowls. And they are Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Joe Montana, and now Patrick Mahomes. He has joined this group.
7. I mean,
for Brady. Yeah, 7 Super Bowls.
that's just so
Peyton Manning has the same number of Super Bowls as Mahomes now has, 2, but Manning has 5 MVPs. Brady, 3 MVPs, 7 Super Bowls. Montana, just a mere 2 MVPs and 4 Super Bowl wins. And so Mahomes has got himself in this spot, by the way, at age 27. 27 years of age. And what he's doing is changing the entire direction of a franchise. Was Andy Reid a Hall of Fame head coach when he wound up in Kansas City? No, not yet. Was Andy Reid a Hall of Fame head coach in Kansas City with Alex Smith there? No, not yet. He's a Hall of Fame head coach now. Travis Kelce, was he a Hall of Famer on a career path, Hall of Fame path with Alex Smith? No. And this is no disrespect to Alex Smith, who I saw looked great, by the way, at the Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes is that guy. He's that unicorn. He's changing lives. He's changing the lives of all Kansas City sports fans. I saw Paul Rudd with his awesome son, Jack Rudd, at the game, who, by the way, I've known since he was a baby in a car seat. My God, I'm old. He sounded just like his dad. Schrager was interviewing him on Fox, and he said, I just want to thank Patrick Mahomes for existing. That is the perfect way it should be said by a Kansas City Chiefs fan. Thank you for existing, Patrick Mahomes, because without you, this franchise might still be roaming the desert. This franchise, in the 5-year span that Mahomes has been starting since 2018, 75 wins. That is second place for the most wins in a 5-year span, including playoffs. In NFL history, 2 wins behind the 03 to 07 Patriots. We all know the 07 Patriots didn't lose a regular season game. 1 ahead of the 2014 to 2018 Patriots, which was the last great run for Tom Brady there, too. So Brady's surrounding him in this. He's right there in that warm center, like a nice rare steak. He is unbelievable. The 75 wins in the last 5 seasons, most in the NFL. Second most, the Bills with 57. Last 5 seasons, including playoffs, the point differential the Chiefs have, they're plus 729. Next closest team are the Ravens at 510 on the plus side. He has 1,000% changed the course of not just his career, but the careers of everyone around him and the franchise that employs him. Period. End of story. And what he has done now last night. We will look back when he goes into the Hall of Fame. And I can say that after just 5 seasons. when he goes into the Hall of Fame, we will look back at Super Bowl 57 and say, that's the moment when Mahomes started becoming the GOAT of his own generation. That's the moment when Mahomes became the face of the NFL. That's the moment when Mahomes took over the entire league, because it was his second Super Bowl win. He now enters the pantheon of a multiple Super Bowl game winner. He also ended a very long streak of league MVPs playing in the Super Bowl and losing. Last quarterback who won the league MVP and then won the Super Bowl that he was playing in was Kurt Warner back in 1999. And the 9 league MVPs who played in the Super Bowl and lost in a row, that streak was started by Tom Brady beating Kurt Warner in Brady's first. Unbelievably, Brady in his 3 MVP seasons, he never either made the Super Bowl or won the Super Bowl. Not even he could break up that streak. He started the streak. He also kept it going when he beat Matt Ryan coming from behind.
Beat Patrick Mahomes in the AFC Championship game.
Well, he prevented Mahomes from even getting the Super Bowl. I'm just talking about making the Super Bowl and preventing somebody else who won the league MVP from winning. Mahomes ended that streak last night, and he did it with his, by far, best Super Bowl performance to date. And maybe this is the way it's going to go for him forevermore in the big game. It's possible he can have an off game if he makes it back, which he will. We all know.
Yeah, we don't know.
But this is...
we don't know, man.
He will make it back.
You said the same thing about Aaron Rodgers.
He will...
Like, come on.
Make it
And Brady went 10 years
back.
Without making it.
He's better than Aaron Rodgers, and I just said those words.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
He's better than Aaron Rodgers.
You never know.
Reed's better than McCarthy. The team around him is better than the team that was around Rodgers. He's making it back. I feel very comfortable in making those statements.
You would bet your children's college fund on it?
You know what? I mean, that's an absurd way to put it. I mean, would you bet your life on it? Of course not. I mean, because it's still a variable. I'm just feeling very confident about it. You could say that about anything I say into this microphone, TJ. But I mean, in all honesty, this guy last night with that performance in that game against an opponent that was outstanding and against a kid younger than him who was lion-hearted like him, showing up in that game, playing like Jalen Hurts played, and he played the way that he played in the first Super Bowl, if we believe Brady's retired for good, in the first Super Bowl when Tom Brady's gone. Last year, as we know, he didn't play in the Super Bowl. Last year was technically the first Super Bowl with Tom Brady gone, but I don't think we really believed it or felt like we feel right now about Brady is retired for good. The numbers are now fixed that he's chasing. And with Brady officially gone, it's now his world. He's the quarterback. That's it. Interestingly enough, 3 weeks ago, he gets hurt against the Jacksonville Jaguars. They make it to the AFC Championship game. The Bengals are all chesty calling it Burrowhead. And it's interesting. Everybody thought like it's Burrow's time to take it over. And who stepped up with a gimpy ankle and still took his team to the Super Bowl and just won it on that gimpy ankle? By the way, with a 26-yard run to put his team in the red zone for the eventual game-winning field goal.
Is that the play of the game?
Patrick Mahomes. That was unbelievable. I couldn't believe he kept running. And at one point he was running away.